Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Royce is going to Royce. I am going to Royce. I'm going to Royce all over the place. Things I should not say on the internet. Well, you ever just say things sometimes and you're just like, yep, shouldn't have did that. Shouldn't have did that. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope you all had a wonderful Easter weekend. Got a couple of videos pulled up from the recommendations on the Discord because I didn't react a whole lot last week because we had a bunch of stuff going on. We had the launch of Maji Chan's book, The Legend of Shellar. If you guys have not gone to Amazon, Legend of Shellar, that's Shellar. Legend of Shellar, go check that out. Buy that book. Leave her a review. She's been a work in the making, inspired by this community right here on this channel. So I'm so glad to shout that out. That was an awesome live stream last week. She was so humbled by all the support that she got. Go give her some more support. And I'm seeing some names. We got the Pineappler here, still fishing in Crimson Desert. He doesn't realize you can do more than that in Crimson Desert. Apparently he heard Crimson Desert and that translated to fishing sim. We've got Wrangler. What's going on? Betty Adams over at Analysis. Hey, Betty Adams. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. I hope that you're doing good. Redoubt Productions. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, my own personal sensor is razor thin nowadays. Right. I think we all get there. And then I've got a story kind of pulled up here. And it's more just like a springboard that I'm going to use to talk about some of the BS going on in the gaming world. But before we get into all of that, let us say a prayer tonight that God grants us the grace that we need, or grants others the grace that they need to get through the trials and tribulations that they're either going through or are ahead of them. So without any further ado, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Amen. Awesome. So, getting into it tonight really quickly, so I won't be talking about Crimson Desert tonight. I don't know what more I can say about it. I've definitely said the things that I needed to say about that game, some of the reviews that came out earlier between what like the critics were saying and then what actual players were saying, and I kind of disagree with both of them to a certain sense. But I mean, both of those videos got a lot of positivity on them, a lot of good comments. Obviously, salty people. There's salty people in every comment section, and people that just agree or disagree with my opinion, and that is what it is. That's the way of the world. So we're not going to talk a whole lot about Crimson Desert tonight, unless I go off on a tangent. But one of the things I want to talk about here. So this comes from Tech for Gamers. PS6 being designed to be cheaper than the PS5. I have thoughts on this. So I question how valid this is because they're saying a leaker said this. So Sony has recently raised the price of the PS5 family, making the most expensive console of the bunch. The PS5 Pro, as expensive as $900, with exciting games like GTA 6 right around the corner, the price hike has come as a major shock to many. Okay, many have recently purchased the PS5 Pro to avoid the new price hike, but a prominent leaker warns against buying the PS5 Pro in its current state. He states that the console would be best avoided for newcomers due to how expensive it has become and the fact that the PS6 is not too far away. Why it matters. Millions were likely expecting to upgrade to the PS5 and PS5 Pro on the occasion that GTA 6 released this year. It's now being suggested waiting further is the better option. Okay, in his latest video, Moore's Law is Dead reaffirmed that the PS6 is right around the corner, and Sony is now planning for the transition from the PS5 to the PS6. He highlights that Sony's main objective with the PS6 is to have both the PS5 and PS4 gamers shift to new hardware. On the subject of pricing, the leaker states that the recent PS5 revisions aren't too surprising. However, he firmly believes people without PS5 should just now wait for the next generation of console. As for Moore's Law is Dead, the next generation will be designed to be cheap and efficient to produce. Okay, so here's where I'm at with this. There's a lot going on with this. Okay, so let's talk about the PS5 price hikes, because I haven't done that yet. Because every one of their brothers talked about him, and it's like, it's the biggest story on YouTube. And when you're a small fish on YouTube, how are you going to talk about a big topic unless you have somewhat of a unique take on it, or not a unique take, or so on and so forth? So I'm of many minds on this here. So one, why did Sony decide to price hike the PlayStation? Well, is it because of the market demands? Is it because AI is gobbling up all of the CPU and all of the GPU and all of the RAM and all of the everything? AI just wants it all. AI wants your RAM. It wants your monitors. It wants your mother. It wants your brother. It wants your sister. It wants your dog. AI wants everything to power AI, right? It's going to put everybody in the tubes. That's what it wants. It wants everyone, okay? It wants all of you. It wants all of your compute. Is that why the PlayStation is now doing the PlayStation 5 is now doing another price hike? Because again, this is not the first one they've done. This is another one. Or is it possibly that Sony PlayStation has spent billions of dollars over the last however many years, just $3.6 billion on Bungie alone, and they've spent billions more through other live service failures, and now Sony in and of itself and its gaming division is just in the red. It's not been guided properly. They are not looking good. Again, you think about it, you got a couple of games in this generation, but realistically, there was not a lot out there on the PlayStation 5 that enticed people to go out and buy a PlayStation 5, because the one thing that Sony was known for, which was Sony first-party titles, which they've been known for since the PlayStation 1, they decided with the PlayStation 5 they're going to go to this live service model because they want that infinite money glitch that, Fortnite had. And I say had because now Fortnite's actually running into, a waning audience and so on and so forth. And so a lot of people are concerned about the price hikes of the PlayStation 5 and like, oh my gosh, why are they doing this? What are they doing? Well, the games industry is being financially irresponsible in a way that they have never been irresponsible before. Now, the games industry, if you go all the way back, has always had some irresponsibility around it. I mean, all of the major studios, there's always been a lot of crunch. There's always been a lot of waste. There's always been a lot. And it's just always kind of there. It's part of the creative endeavor, right? It's just that type of industry, right? You're working with creative people. You're working with nerds. You're working with probably some people that are gamers. And back in the day, gamers were antisocial because that's the type of people where now we've broadened out. More people play games nowadays because games are more representative of HBO movies than they are actual games, and have less mechanics in them and less puzzle solving and less game in their games. And so gaming has just exploded and become the most massive and most widely received entertainment medium on the planet. But there's always been a fair amount of inefficiency. There's always been a fair amount of flops. There's always been a fair amount of failure, and so on and so forth. You can go back, you can read the stories. I mean, see what, the fact that Bungie did what Bungie did with Halo, back in the day. I mean, they had released a game. I think it was Marathon. I think it was one of the original. Was it Marathon? No. Anyway, Bungie released a game out on computer, and it basically tanked people's computers. It was not a good thing. And then all of a sudden, these guys come out and they release Halo, and it was a fantastic comeback story, right? But again, but what we're seeing now is that they're willing to waste billions of dollars chasing after the infinite money glitch that was the accident that is Fortnite. And like one other live service that I can't even think of right now. So they waste billions of dollars to chase this. And yet, at the end of the day, they never get a Fortnite, right? They never get that happy accident, right? They are not, in fact, Bob Ross, okay? All right? There's no happy accidents with Sony. They're not Bob Ross. They don't have a beautiful fro like that man did, and they're not a badass because that guy, he was a badass. Look at his history. What instead they got is billions of dollars worth of failures. 400 million just on Concord. I mean, at this point, Bungie has just been going downhill. I don't think Bungie has pulled a profit for them in any way, shape, or form. That's $3.6 billion on the purchase, and then however many hundreds of millions of dollars to support them since the acquisition of Bungie. I mean, right there, just with Concord and Bungie, we're already looking at over $4 billion. and then all of the other ones that they've had that have flopped. It's no surprise that a company who has chased down such a negligent and horrible business model, I think I'm using that properly, or they've been negligent about, chasing down this horrible business model. Nope, that's not working in my head. They have been negligent with their money by chasing down this horrible business model. Why did that not connect? Why did that take me through? It's been a hell of a day. I know why it did that. It's been a hell of a day. I started off work, just fun, just emails and things. And then I had to take a new hire through new hire orientation, which is fine. That was actually the easiest part of my day. And then there was looking at legal stuff. And then my wife called and said her car was dead. And then I went down to my boss. I was like, hey, my wife's car is dead. And my boss just started laughing because she knows that the last week we've been dealing with sick kids. It's been crazy. I know it. They have been negligent with their money by chasing down this horrible business model that is live service. Sorry for that diatribe. The brain is not firing on all cylinders, right? Actually, the brain is firing on extra cylinders that it doesn't have, which feels worse sometimes. I'd rather be slow than too fast. And right now I'm too fast and I'm not fast enough to be this slow. But anyway, after the billions of dollars worth of waste, and not being able to recover, because again, one of the things that we have to understand too is that when it comes to consoles have always been loss leaders, right? They always come out with the console and they say, oh, it's a loss leader type of thing, but we're going to make up that cost with all the games, right? You're going to buy the console because they're going to sell it at cost or at a loss or whatever it is, and then they're going to sell you a bunch of games, and you're going to go out, you're going to buy all those games, and you're going to want to play all those games, and you're going to want to play those games on that console, and that's what's going to make the money. Well, guess what? Since they've been trying to chase down live service, nobody gives a shit about their fucking games. And why? Well, because nobody wants to be just a glorified wallet, a glorified, cash cow for Sony. People don't want to be treated like little piggy banks. They want to be treated like customers, not even consumers, just customers. And Sony decided to get away from that. And so Sony sells not a whole lot of games during this generation. Their loss leader definitely no longer was being subsidized by the amount of games that they were selling on that loss leader. And so therefore, what do they have to do? On top of the CPU and RAM and just all these shortages that AI is causing, their console didn't do anything because it didn't have any games to play that people wanted to play. Because we understand that investors love live service. God, just this infinite money glitch that just keeps giving them money every month sounds fantastic to an investor. What investors don't realize is gamers aren't like that. We want to buy a game. We want to play a game. And you know what? We'll put that game away for a little while, go play some other games. Maybe come back to that game a little later. Come back to it. It's there. It's there. It's this game. It's over here. It's on my shelf. And it's not just, a digital access card that's on a disc. It's a physical disc. It's there. I still have some of those, by the way. I've got them upstairs. We've got some, Xbox, PlayStation 2, like OG Xbox, original Xbox, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 stuff upstairs. We don't even have a PlayStation 3 anymore. PlayStation 3 died. It was destroyed by a child. I felt really bad for that one. Anyway, so my theory behind all this is, will the PlayStation 6 be any cheaper than the PlayStation 5 price hikes? Is this going to try to push people to the PlayStation 6 just to play GTA 6? I don't think so. And I think what we're looking at right now is a catastrophic failure of the business strategy that Sony has had. Unless all prices for computer hardware come down in the next coming years, I think we're going to see the PlayStation 6 at roughly around the same price or just at a high price. Will it be cheaper than the PS5? I don't know. That's a really good question. Depends on where all the CPU stuff is. Is the PlayStation 5 price hike just because of all of the AI data centers eating up all the stuff? Partially, but not entirely. I actually think it's more so because I fully believe that it's like 90% the fact they wasted billions of dollars on live service, and it failed. I think it's 90% it. And I think with all the AI stuff eating up all the CPU and the RAM and everything like that, I think Sony just finally had to be like, look, we can't have our PlayStation that's not really giving us anything because it's a loss leader. We can't keep selling it like this. We've got to make up for those losses. And I think that's more so what it is. Right now, will the PlayStation 6 come out and be at a customer friendly price? I don't think so. I really don't. I think that they have, I mean, we're looking at, I mean, what, 6-7 years of just a terrible business model, this terrible live service business model. That's not going to get corrected overnight. I mean, that's not, it can't be. Again, $3.6 billion alone on Bungie and the hundreds of millions of dollars to support them with Destiny and then Marathon. And then you have Concord. And what other live service crap has Sony tried that has failed? I mean, just keep going after it. It's ridiculous. So are they price hiking just so when they go, look, the PS6 is so much cheaper? No, they're not. They're price hiking because they've had a failed business model with their video games. Their video games were not providing them with the amount of money that they needed because they're all fucking failures because nobody wants to play a live service. Or not nobody, but very few people. As far as the demographic of gamers go, well, there's a lot less people who want to play a live service than there are people who want to play just a regular video game like, you know, Crimson Desert or Expedition 33 or so on and so forth, right? And so, no, I think I think if they don't right the ship, by the time the PS6 comes out, I think we could still see incredibly high prices with the PS6. Because again, if there's no reason to buy a PS6, what's the reason to buy a PS6? Oh, get Grand Theft Auto 6 on the PS6, and it's like, I mean, do I need to? Like, I've skipped the last couple Grand Theft Autos. I don't really need to rush out and buy this one. That one's not even on my FOMO list. Everybody's like, oh, fear of missing out with Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm like, nah, I don't care. I don't. I've played Grand Theft Auto before. I played Vice City. I played 3. Actually, I played 1. I played 1. I played 3. I didn't play 2. But I played the original Grand Theft Auto. I played 3. I played Vice City. I played San Andreas. Somebody one time had that Liberty City Stories on like the PSP, and I fucked around with that for like 20 minutes. That doesn't really count, I don't think. But yeah. And so I don't think we're going to see the PlayStation 6 do gangbusters right away. And I really don't think that we're going to see prices of the PlayStation 6 reflective of a customer friendly or just consumer friendly market. They've wasted too many billions. They don't have a choice. There are too many billions in the hole with their failed business model. They're going to have, and I mean, compute power, CPU and RAM and all that stuff is going to have to come down exponentially for them to price the PS6 in a way where it's going to be affordable for the average customer to even get in on the ground floor of a PlayStation 6. And that's just kind of what I'm thinking. It's nice to fantasize about it coming out cheaper, but I just don't think it's going to. Yeah, that's just where I'm at. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what I had to say about this crazy idea about the PlayStation 6 not actually being cheap, maybe it will. Maybe, I don't know. I just don't think it's going to. And you watched the VOD. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm live Mondays and Thursdays, and you should be here on the live stream on Mondays and Thursdays. But also, because you're not here right now, I'm going to go to my live chat because they are here. And they care about me more than you do because they're my live chat and they're here with me right now. And you're not. So you're watching this in the future. Hi, chat. I think I'm getting better at that. I still watch the chats once in a while, though, to see what you guys are saying. You guys were typing out some long ones. What's going on? Hey, Royce, how was your Easter? God bless you and your family. Our Easter was just weird. We had a couple of sick kids in the house. On top of us just not feeling like, I think we're getting the ick too. I was exhausted all weekend, dude. I took naps. I took like 2 naps on Saturday. It was stupid. I never nap. I hate napping. But I was so just couldn't even keep my eyes open, lethargic and tired. It was Easter weekend was just a very off weekend for us, but that's okay. It's not about how cheap or expensive a console is to make. It's about how affordable it is to the average gamer. Exactly. That's exactly it, Mario Trujillo. Sony was like, I bet it all on live service. Live service crashes. Well, we got to make this up somehow. Mm-hmm. I know, let's just charge more. That's a great idea. Yeah. Instead of releasing good games. Jonathan Grant, what's going on? What's up? To be honest, it could cost $800. That's still stupid for a console. I thought it was ridiculous when they were like a console costing $400 or $500. Like, the only reason we have a PS4 Pro is because we ended up buying a PS4 Pro like after the PS5 had been out for several years, used off of eBay from a reliable seller, and ours is still functioning. Kids still use the PS4 every single day. You know, it's ridiculous. It's so interesting too, is that, guys like, the developers of Crimson Desert come out and what did they say? They could get you could play Crimson Desert on like a 1060, which is fucking wild. But it's like we can't make games that can be supported on the PS4 anymore. Like the PS4 is going to get phased out, and eventually my kids are going to be like, Dad, the PS4 broke. Can we get a new one? No. Why? Because they're expensive. They're not making games for them anymore. So yeah. Don't forget, unlike other markets that rely on uninformed customers, gamers are on average fairly informed customers. Hence why you said smoke and minors. I think you mean smoke and mirrors. Don't work on them easily. Mario, you need to just spell check your stuff. I think you meant smoke and mirrors, not smoke and minors. That's weird. I think there is a higher portion of the gaming population, of the gamer population, who is tapped in than, say, like average customers in other places. But I do not believe that it's the vast majority. I think the vast majority of, if you talk with a lot of people who play games, not just people who are here watching shit on YouTube, here in the live chats and stuff like that, just the average gamer, the average they don't know 75% of the stuff that like this audience pays attention, and just a lot of audiences that you would interact with on YouTube. They just don't know. That's just how it is. So I would say that a larger portion of the gamer population is probably tapped in, but not necessarily the overwhelming majority. It's just larger than maybe other markets. I hope the Steam machine at least does well. I don't think it's going to, dude. I think all this price hike stuff, there's a reason that they haven't announced pricing or anything yet. I think the Steam machine is screwed. And what makes me so mad about that, dude, is I was so excited to get a Steam machine and park it next to my TV and play Awesomeness on my TV in my living room. I wanted Game Box. I wanted or as people have so eloquently titled it, the Gabe Box. I wanted the box. I wanted to put it next to my TV, and I wanted to play my Steam games on my TV. But instead, I took part of my freaking sectional, moved it into my living room, completely adjusted my area over here, and now I can still couch game, but it's in my office. Sony devs will have to give far more installments than this current generation. Probably. The ick has been going around. Oh, the ick has been horrible, too. Everybody's getting it. Everybody's getting the ick, man. It's that springtime ick, and it's supposedly what's going on around here. It's hanging on for 7 to 10 business days. Just fuck you people. Just like it doesn't even care. It's going to hang on, and it's not going to let go, and you might feel like a little all right in the morning when you wake up, and then by about 10 o'clock in the morning, you're just like, ugh, and you want to die. It's horrible. Kids have been going, I haven't gotten hit yet. Knock on wood. I have no wood to knock on, and I'm pretty sure that's probably, my desk probably isn't wood. Looks like wood, not wood. So, you know what? We'll just ride with it. We'll ride with it. It'd be okay. Wait. Found it. Found wood. Found wood. More things I should not say on the internet. Oh, interesting. As someone who is more often a VOD viewer, it's weird hearing you talk about it in real time. Why? Why is it weird hearing me talk about it in real time? What the fuck? What? Explain yourself. You make no sense. Oh, is it because I end it with just like you should be here? Yeah. But I do that in the VODs. Sup, Price? What's going on, Bat Sauce? I haven't seen you in a hot minute, buddy. How you doing? How's little Bats? How's baby Bats? Did you guys have baby Bats yet? Wait, no, you guys had baby Bats a while ago. How is baby Bats? Because I remember that was the announcement. And then, like, yeah, it's just been a long time. How is the little one? Oh, I'm very excited. I love seeing my old community here, man. Jersey James, what's going on, man? Jonathan Grant, the Gabe Cube, right? The Ick sent my grandma to the hospital. Ooh, and my sister-in-law got to use her CPR training. Oh, some nice, wholesome family trauma all around. That's not awesome at all. Not good at all. Oh my gosh. No. Is your grandmother okay? And that is terrifying. I mean, thank God that your sister-in-law knew CPR. Goodness. YouTube auto-corrected me again. How it got minors from mirrors, I will never know. Then again, Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates, and that dude was a certain list. You mean on a certain list? Yeah. It just is. Don't think about it too much. I'm always going to think about it too much. That's my whole shtick. Drink beer and try to think. You know that? No. You know that meme? It's like, I don't think, I drink. Well, I try to think while also drink. You shouldn't mix the two. Thinking and drinking, it doesn't go together like peanut butter and jelly, you know? It's thinking and drinking. It's like oil and water. They don't want to mix, you know? But that's even worse than oil and water, because you can't like cook pasta in like thinking and drinking, but you can cook it in oil and water. But this analogy is falling apart. It's getting worse. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing good comes. It's fine. Oh, it was terrifying, but Grandma is safe and resting. Wonderful. I am glad that Grandma is safe and resting. You must forgive him. Times moves differently in Royceland. I blame the corn. I don't know. It's the corn does this weird time dilation thing. I don't know. Did Bats reply to me? Oh no, he didn't. Okay. All right. So my rant about PlayStation out of the way, because I genuinely, I think there's just compounding factors to it. The doctor gave her a medical grade kazoo to keep her lungs from clogging up again. Oh my goodness. It's called a butterfly valve. Are you making a I'm just never mind. Society is ran by by the PDFs, and it sucks how obvious it is at this time. Yeah, it's really, yeah, I was sitting there kind of hoping that a lot of people that were accused of being on that list, I don't know how sensitive YouTube is on that stuff anymore. I wish I knew, because I'd like to talk about it openly, but I don't think anything's going to happen. I think everybody's going to get away with it. Everybody's going to get away with it, and it's absolutely freaking terrible. Hello! That is an Asian character that I don't know how to read that, but hello, hi, how are you? Don't be a bot. All right, so let's move over here. Okay. I have been told I need to watch and react to this. I don't know why I need to watch and react to this, but I was told I need to watch and react to this. It's real, I swear. You breathe into it and it vibrates the relevant breathing tubes to prevent much buildup. That's crazy. Medical technology is so crazy now. All right. So, I don't know what I'm getting into, but my Discord likes to share me some of the weirdest crap on the planet. So, this is Time Fight 2026. You guys tell me if you can hear it. Can you hear it? Oh, whoops. Let me know if you guys can hear it. All right, good. What am I watching? Am I going to get copyright stricken for this? Half the time I don't watch stuff from you guys get copyright. So this is, why are we, it's stick figures. Oh no. Can't hear. How was the audio? When I balanced with it, it sounds a little loud in my ears. I'm going to roll it down just a skosh. Just a skosh. All right. So we got blue stick figure mans, and he is kitted out. He's ready to do, whoa! Whoa! Oh, more stick figure. Whoa, wait, what is this? Why is this super awesome? No, child, not yet. Nope. My child's over here like, Dad! Dad! She's got all the lore. She's ready. I can't. This is the coolest stick figure fight I've ever seen. I thought they were cool when you would put them on, like, the sticky note pads and you would go, and I didn't know stick figures could be 3D. Right? Are they evolving? I want to hear them tell you their lore. Right? No, that'll be like 45 minutes of like learning about stick figures. Okay, unironically, I want this to be a video game, not just an animation. I mean, this looks so freaking good. If this were literally just like this 3D like side scroller looking thing and it looked just like this, I would play the absolute fuck out of this. This looks so good. Why is the light one not? I mean, I guess bullets don't hurt photons. It's like, what's harder, bullets or photons? I feel like bullets are harder. Story, I don't know the story, but I know that the one that looks like he's made of light particles it seems like he's trying to get these hooligans out of his house. And the hooligans are just shooting him with a bunch of weapons, and it's really making not for a good day for him. Oh, and that, whoa, what that guy just used a hammer. Oh, it's a portal hammer. Oh, okay. Man, this guy he just wants these hooligans out of his, he's just trying to hang out and be like an ephemeral light being. And they're like, no, kick his ass. Kick his ass. And he's just like, please leave me alone. I just wanted to eat popcorn and watch reruns of Grey's Anatomy. This is just Royce dealing with his kids after work. My kids are well, sometimes. My kids are a lot better than this. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the light being over here, the particles of light. He just wanted to eat popcorn and watch Grey's Anatomy. And then some dudes walk in with some like portal hammers and some guns. And he's so sad right now. I'm so sorry, light man. There you go. You punch that hooligan. Wait, there's more of them now. Why are the hooligans multiplying? I love how the bullets don't hit the other guys. It's so great. I say that like oh, he's back, but he's smaller now. Wait, maybe that's like bro's kid. You got me to stop fishing. I don't know what this is. Popcorn monster? Possibly a popcorn monster. I don't know. I like my lore, though. I think that oh my gosh. And now they're trying to run him over. Normal, ephemeral, light being behavior. Yeah. It just... How would you guys feel? You're just sitting down, trying to hang out. You're a being made of light. And all of a sudden, these hooligans come in and start hitting you with portal hammers and guns. How would you feel? You're just a light being stick figure. Just hanging out in your very, very nice mansion with some sort of science lab in the basement. And now you're just... I'm not gonna lie, that ending was cool. They deleted him. All because he wanted to watch Grey's Anatomy and eat popcorn in 2026. That's all he wanted to do. He was just hanging out, being a stick figure made of light and particles and photons and whatever light's made of. And they murdered him for it. It was really cool to watch, though. It was really, really cool to watch. Grey's Anatomy must be stopped. I've never seen that show. I've never seen Grey's Anatomy, nor have I seen Scrubs. I've seen clips, never seen either one of those shows. I just know that they're highly popular amongst my generation. So, not gonna lie, that was very confusing, very bad. I agree. They were just like, nope, we're gonna do time stuff, and then there's more things happening, and then as all of them show up at the end, that's because of time shenanigan. That was great. Scrubs was pretty funny back then, right? Sam Fisher, what's going on? I never watched any of those shows. I didn't, almost none of them. I watched a lot of them, like with my parents and stuff like that, but never heard about it to know. Must be stopped. OG Scrubs, the first 5 seasons was funny as hell. I've heard it's good. I've just never seen it. Like, I would, by the time those shows were kind of out, I was watching shows, what was on right around that time? I was like, be watching like Supernatural every week. That was probably my show. I watched Supernatural for a long time, though. Gotta go have a good one. Hey, take it easy, Wrangler. Anyway, that was an absolutely cool freaking... that was an absolutely awesome freaking just animation. Like, I don't know what the hell I just watched, but I am going to share that link down in the chat for you guys so you guys can go check it out and give some views to it yourself, because that's really cool. Royce Kids, Social Scrubs. Daddy, why are we on the... Daddy, why are you on the... Oh, goodness. That's funny. That's funny. Oh, man. Oh, I really appreciate that. That was really, really cool. I wonder if they have any more. I wonder if they have any more videos recently. Yeah, creating time fights. I mean, it looks like they're just a small time 3D animator. The 3D animator that just popped off with that. That looks dope, dude. Congratulations to them. Seriously. The channel is called Turquoise. This is a very, very good job with that. So, okay, this next video. Again, this was shared from the Discord, so I'm interested in seeing what this is. But this is, why do TV shows only have 8 episodes now? This is from Gemma.mp4. Let's give this a watch and see what this has to say, because I've wondered that myself. Why
television is slowly being ruined by the 8-episode season? Because why do I finally find a show that I like and the entire season is over in a week? We used to get 20 plus episodes a season. You actually had time to get to know the characters. There was storyline.
I remember season 3 of Supernatural happened during the 2008 writer's strike. Yeah, the 2008 writer's strike had 15 episodes. I was like, man, this season's so I don't know how they're going to survive.
Side plots, and random episodes where characters just
Was great. Adult Swim, Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, Aqua Teen, Hunger Force. Reading is food for your brain, but I like food for my mouth. That is the only line I remember from Meatwad. I don't know why. I always remember that. Probably because I hated reading as a kid. And he's just, reading is food for your brain, but I like food for my mouth. Oh, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Oh, man. Oh. Just over of Adult Swim back in the day. Yeah, that was some wild stuff, dude. Oh, sorry, I had to call that out. That was a great one, Sam Fisher. Fantastic.
existed together. Now you get 8 episodes. The plot
Yes.
finally gets good around episode 6, but then you're on to the finale already. And after that, you have to wait 2 years for the next season. Streaming services love to say that shorter seasons make TV more cinematic and higher quality, but
No,
the
it does
truth
not.
is that 8-episode storytelling format
Dude, it's television. Nobody cares about it being more cinematic. If I want to watch a movie, I'll go watch a movie. If I want to watch a TV show, there is a quality expectation, I think, when it comes to television shows, and we all expect television shows to just be lesser quality. Is that a thing? Do you guys expect that? Because I expect that. If I'm watching a television show, I'm not expecting cinematic quality. I'm expecting TV quality because there's just kind of a separation there.
format actually creates a lot of storyline problems. So let's talk about why the 8-episode season is quietly changing television. To understand why modern TV literally gives us whiplash, we have to look at how episodic television used to be structured. In
Yes.
the network era, a standard 22 to 24 season forced writers to create A, B, and sometimes C plots. The A plot carried the main story of the episode, while B and C plots focused on side characters, smaller conflicts, or comedic beats. Because a season had more than 20 hours of storytelling, characters actually had time to do mundane stuff. They could go grocery shopping, pay taxes, or aggressively argue about absolutely nothing. This creates
Okay, and a lot of those had some flavor text to it. Like that introduced you to a lot of your more favored character moments and like things that you were just like, oh, I really like that. And then the writers would go, oh, snap. Like everybody really responded well to that. And this was just a throwaway episode. Let's really touch on that. Okay, I like what this girl's saying. I like what she's saying.
the hangout show effect. You weren't just watching them, you were basically their roommate.
I remember my dad watched every season of Friends. I used to sit there and watch Friends with my dad. Friends, NCIS, what else was Frasier? God, I couldn't stand Frasier when I was a kid. Love Frasier once I got into being a teenager and adult.
Repetition and familiarity build emotional attachment. If a streaming exec looked at a Gilmore Girls script today, they would actually combust. They'd cut the Friday night dinners and then they'd be like, okay, when can we get raw?
Okay, real talk. I've never watched the Gilmore Girls. Is that show any good, chat? Like, be honest with me. Is it any good? Is it something like, Royce, yeah, go check it out? Or is it not good? Like, I've heard people say that they could not stop watching that show for years, even after it was done airing. Was that show any good?
To fight a Demogorgon. Because apparently no one is allowed to drink coffee anymore unless the barista is a serial killer. But those moments are the storytelling. They build the rhythm of the characters' lives, which makes the emotional payoffs land so much harder. Now compare
Agreed.
that to a modern streaming hit like Wednesday. This show only has 8 episodes to introduce a school, a murder mystery, supernatural lore, a prophecy, and several relationship arcs. With so much narrative ground to cover, scenes are often focused on advancing the central mystery rather than letting the characters simply exist in the world. The result is a faster, more plot-driven style.
I will say this. I am not a fan of where they've taken the modern interpretation of the I am an Addams Family purist. I like the original series. I like the original 1950s series. Anything after that doesn't exist in my mind when it comes to the Addams Family. Or any, like, the Wednesday crap. None of it. Nope.
Of storytelling, where character relationships sometimes develop more quickly than they would in longer seasons. Because of this hyper efficiency, the filler effect is rarer. In television writing, filler episodes often function as character studies disguised as detours. Back in the day when budgets ran dry mid-season, writers gave us bottle episodes. Usually shot entirely in one room, zero CGI, and 100% acting and dialogue. Friends did this perfectly with The One Where No One's Ready. The entire episode takes place in Monica's apartment where everybody tries and fails to get ready for Ross's event. It barely advances the season storyline, but it's beloved because it puts the crazy personalities of the ensemble front and center. Dramas used the same technique. In Breaking Bad's famous episode Fly, Walter and Jesse spend most of the episode trapped in a super lab trying to...
Okay, legit, I haven't seen Breaking Bad. I need to see Breaking Bad. By the time Breaking Bad was everywhere and everybody was loving it, I was already on YouTube, like watching YouTube. YouTube has been my primary viewing. Like I would rather watch YouTube creators than watch any television show. But I've heard Breaking Bad is really, really good. Even my wife said my wife watched Dexter and Breaking Bad, and she was like, they're both absolutely fantastic, and I need to just sit down and watch them.
Kill a single fly. Very little happens in terms of plot progression, but the episode reveals Walt's growing paranoia and deepens his increasingly toxic relationship with Jesse. Shorter seasons don't eliminate these kinds of episodes entirely, but it makes it harder to justify. When the show only has 8 episodes, there's a lot of pressure for every installment to move the central story forward, leaving less room for quiet, self-contained character moments. Let's play...
Oh, the whirly fan on the tongue. Oh, I've done that. Did you guys do that as a kid? Oh. Let's back that up just a little bit.
Central story forward, leaving less room for quiet...
That's this. That's intrusive thoughts winning. We've all done it. If you're old enough, you've been there. You've done it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you had the good ones with the really hard plastic, not like the foam, because they put the foam on them later because too many kids were intrusive thoughtsing themselves. Oh! I can still feel it. Oh! Yep, we're gonna skip that. That tastes like my tongue is sore now.
Character moments. Let's play a game of 2 Truths, 1 Lie, Unhinged Network TV edition. I'm going to read you 3 B-plots, 2 of which actually aired on TV, and 1 I completely hallucinated. And you have to guess which one is fake. Number 1. 4 friends spend the entire episode waiting for a table at a Chinese restaurant. Number 2. A group of co-workers spend the entire day arguing over whether a celebrity is attractive enough to be considered hot. Number 3. 2 co-workers accidentally get stuck in their workplace overnight and spend the entire episode trying to avoid setting off the building's security system.
It's the first 2. The last one was
If you guess number 3, you win. Waiting from the Table is from Seinfeld, and the Is She Hot debate was from The Office. Because 22-episode television was completely lawless and we didn't appreciate it enough. Moving on, showrunners often defend shorter seasons with the same phrase in interviews. We didn't make a TV show, we made an 8-hour movie. But television and film are traditionally built on different storytelling structures. A film usually focuses on a 3-act structure.
Yes.
Setup, confrontation, and resolution. It's designed as a single narrative sprint towards one central climax. Television historically works differently. Episodic storytelling is built around smaller arcs that resolve in each episode, while gradually advancing a larger narrative across the season. Older shows like Supernatural or The Vampire Diaries...
Older shows. God, that doesn't make me feel good. And you know what sucks is Supernatural's been off the air for a while now. That was a great... I'm sorry. I will take this to my grave. The first 5 seasons of Supernatural are some of the best television that have ever been put to television. Period. They are so freaking good.
Natural or The Vampire Diaries.
I did not watch The Vampire Diaries. My wife watched The Vampire Diaries. She watched all of it. She said she got pretty hooked on it for a while.
Diaries ate this up. You got a dopamine hit of the monster of the week getting defeated every episode, plus the seasonal villain lurking in the back. Modern streaming shows are often far more serialized. Seasons are structured less like collections of episodes and more like a long movie cut into parts. And when you stretch a movie over 8 hours, the middle of it sags like a cheap mattress. Look at Marvel's The Falcon.
Oof. Oh, that's a That's a way to say it. Sags like a cheap mattress. Oof. I don't know if I've ever slept on a cheap. I mean, I've definitely slept on not good mattresses, but at the time they were purchased, they were good, you know. It's just by the time I got them, they were like hand-me-downs. It's like, oh, yeah, your brother's getting a new bed. You can have his old one.
And The Winter Soldier, all the latest seasons of Stranger Things. Because the narrative is rigged to peak in episode 8. The middle episodes are the characters pacing around, having the exact same argument 3 times, and killing time until the massive CGI finale. The episodic rhythm is dead. The result is a structure where individual episodes feel less like complex stories and more like installments in a long build-up toward the ending. Now, if you're a fan of complex relationship dynamics or slow burns, shorter seasons can make things so much harder. Screenwriting tension relies on withholding. It's near misses, miscommunication, and agonizing yearning. And honey, you cannot microwave a slow burn. It takes years of stolen glances. Because of this, longer running shows had a huge advantage here. Volume. When characters share dozens or hundreds of episodes together, every interaction adds another layer to their history. Take a network procedural like...
Okay, and she is incredibly right here. Dude, there are shows out there, like, and I don't care about relationships and shows. I just don't. It's just, there are shows out there that did the will they, won't they crap so good. Even I was just like, come on. Put them together. Just, we all know what you're doing here. And it works. It like when that writing is done well, I don't care if you're a guy or a girl or whatever. And it doesn't matter what show you're watching. You be talking with your wife and your wife would be like, well, did those two get together yet? Like, no, they didn't. Be like, well, it's been 5 seasons. I know. And they do a really, really good job with, you know, it's good storytelling when even the guys are just like interested in just like the will they, won't they cry. It's ridiculous because it's tension buildup, right? It's like there's this one thing there and you're just like, oh, just get it over with. And the girls may like it for different reasons than the guys do, because the guys are like, we know where the fuck it's going. Just get there already. Just go. And the girls are just like, oh my gosh, we like watching this just like back and forth. It's just like hot and cold. Like they don't know what they're doing. And you as the guy, you're just like, I know what they're doing. Just do it. And so what do? You watch every week to see if the writers finally cave and just break the tension so you can go back to doing normal dude shit. It's wild. I like, there are some really good writers out there that have done some fantastic, like, will they, won't they crap like that. And this is kind of what she's articulating here, is when you see characters over however many episodes of the will they, won't they crap, you're just like, just make it happen. But it hooks you. It's character drama. It's that interpersonal stuff. She's making some good points here. This is a really good channel.
911. The dynamic between Buck and Eddie has built a massive fan base, largely because audiences have spent over 100 episodes watching them navigate trauma, save each other's lives, and quietly interact at the firehouse. That kind of emotional history accumulates over years of storytelling. Shorter seasons can still create compelling romances, but they have far less runway. With modern streaming, the slow burn is on 2 times speed. In Bridgerton Season 2, Anthony and Kate spend 6 hours aggressively hating each other. Episode 7 is pure panic, and by episode 8, they're happily married. I don't want them married in episode 8. I want them to accidentally brush hands in episode 14, but that's not a thing. The result is that...
Oh, I hate that she's right there. But yeah, that's how you do it. And it's this week to week slow progression over time that just keeps the audience wanting to come back.
Romance can sometimes feel compressed, like a slow burn that had to reach its payoff before the season ran out of time. But the worst part of the 8-episode season isn't just the episode count, it's the wait between the seasons. In the network era, television followed a predictable rhythm. A show would end in May and then the next season would premiere in September. The gap was only a few months. And so the story stayed fresh in your mind, the characters felt continuous, and the cultural momentum rarely disappeared.
That is very true, because everybody knew that we're going to take a break for the summer, right? We're going to take a break for the summer. Everybody's out. But come fall, right? I knew when mom and dad were going back to the bowling alley that good TV was about ready to come back, right? And like when I'm young, I'm thinking about like the new season of, let's see, because I'm little. So I'm little, late 90s, early 2000s. We're going back to like later seasons of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Angel was airing on TV, which I think I like Angel as a series better than I like. But then Smallville, dude. Oh man, when school was back in session, I knew Smallville was coming back. Man, my dad and I watched every season of Smallville together. And it was so funny because my dad would be my nickname from my dad. All of us kids have nicknames. If your dad has a nickname for you, drop it in the chat. My nickname from my dad is Hot Rod. Hey, Hot Rod, who's this superhero? And I'd literally have to poke my head up and I'd have to tell my dad who the character from the comic book was. And my dad would be like, oh, okay. So he would understand who the villain of the week was or who the superhero was. I mean, dude, I knew when school was back inside, and like you waited for it, right? You had those. You were like, what are they going to do? How is this next season going to go? And you waited the whole summer. And then you start seeing the commercials, right? And you always had that guy with that, he had like the TV voice. It'd be like, at its new day and time, Thursdays at 8 p.m., whatever the fuck. You know what I'm talking about. And you were just like, yes! And so you're like marking it on your calendar, like the first episode of the new season. We've been away for 3 months. I want to watch it again. I want to see this. Oh, she's totally right here. There is like a cultural cohesion about a show being off the air for 3 months, and then it comes back, and you're just like, and there's the payoff. And then they leave a cliffhanger on that episode, and then you have to wait every week, right? I know. I think the binge model kind of ruined that for a lot of people too. Because a lot of people are like, well, I'll just wait until I can binge it, right? Even I've kind of gotten to a point where I do that with a lot of things. But shows that I actually really want to enjoy and really invest in, I actually watch them weekly when they release. Because then I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to see the next episode. And now it's actually just anime, like certain anime that I think are really dope. Like I will watch them on the weekly release because I'm just like, oh, and it's like my weekly ritual on the weekends, wake up early, doing, cooking some barbecue. The family's still asleep. I'm sitting there getting the smoker fired up. I've got anime on my phone and I've got meat seasoning and all that. And it's just like a weekly ritual, dude. It's something I think we've lost in the modern day. And she's completely right.
Streaming television works very differently. A show might release 8 episodes, sometimes all at once, sometimes weekly, and then disappear for 2 to 3 years while the next season is being produced. Shows like Euphoria or House of the Dragon deliver massive cinematic seasons, but that scale comes with the enormous production timelines, meaning audiences can wait 24 to 36 months before the story continues. And also our most recent example of Stranger Things, where we had to wait for basically 4 years. And let me tell you, those actors did not look like kids anymore. When you combine a tiny episode count with massive hiatuses, the experience of following a show starts to change. Instead of living with characters week...
See, that's what really shook me off of the, that's what shook me off of, the BBC Sherlock series with, Benedict Cumberbatch. And, that really shook me off of that series. Because I was into that. I was invested. And it's like, hey, you're going to have to wait another 2 years. And I was like, what the fuck? Why are we waiting 2 years for a TV show? Get to work.
To week, season after season, the story arrives in short bursts separated by years of silence. By the time the next season finally drops, many viewers need to recap to remember who half the characters are. In the network era, television felt like a continuous relationship. In the streaming era, it starts to feel a bit more like an occasional reunion. Now, to be fair, I am not a total hater.
I'll definitely wait to binge watch a whole season. Some shows I will. Most shows I don't. Some shows I'll wait to binge watch. I prefer that weekly watch. Right? It's like my Saturday morning, even if they release on a Tuesday or whatever, I'll wait until like Saturday and then I'll catch up on like each episode of a show. I got my Bluetooth headset here, throw those in, You know, like I said, obviously, if it's a busy Saturday, it ain't going to happen, but that's fine. We just wait till next Saturday, and then we just catch up on a couple more episodes. And I love the weekly watch model. It got everything in moderation, right? It's everything in moderation. And I really think that it makes the show better having to wait instead of just binging it all at once and then just being done with it. And just, I really think it gives that build up. It gives that anticipation. It really, it really makes you as a viewer of the medium, you're less passive then, right? Because you've been waiting for it the whole week, right? When you're binge watching it, you might be binge watching, you get halfway through the season or whatever, and then all of a sudden, for me at least, it feels like, I get towards the end and I'm like, okay, cool, and then it's done. I wipe it out of my mind and I just move on. But when I'm investing multiple weeks into the story, into what's going on, like Dr. Stone is a great example of that. When I invested multiple weeks of my time into that, I feel like I remember the story much more because I was waiting for the story a lot more, Again, I did the same thing with Supernatural back in the day, Smallville. What was the last television show that I actually wanted to watch weekly episodes of? Like a live action television show. I don't actually remember. I'd have to think about that. It might have been Supernatural. No, it was season 4 of The Walking Dead, which was an entire 2 or 3 seasons after they murdered that show. Anyway.
Episode format isn't inherently evil when the story was built for it. Miniseries and limited series thrive on this structure. Chernobyl is a masterpiece precisely because it tells a single historical story across 5 tightly constructed episodes. There's no filler.
Yeah, but miniseries have always been a thing, and when they're done well, they're done well.
No unnecessary subplots, just focused storytelling. Season 1 of True Detective works for the same reason. The 8-episode format perfectly fits a single self-contained mystery. The constraint forces the narrative to stay focused, which can actually make the writing sharper. So the problem isn't that short seasons exist. The problem is that streaming platforms increasingly apply this format to every single show, from sprawling fantasy epics to ensemble comedies, even when the narrative desperately needs room to breathe. A structure that works beautifully for a tightly contained narrative doesn't always translate as well to genres that traditionally rely on large casts, complex worlds, and long-term character development. At the end of the day,
she's 100% right here. I really love her breakdown. She is doing a very, very good job. She didn't get into so much the why. The title of her video was, "Why do TV shows only have 8 episodes now?" I thought she was going to answer that question. You know what? I want her to do another video and actually answer that question and why the structure's done. Maybe she does. We've got a few seconds left of it. Maybe she does, but let's get, yeah. I really like this. I'm going to share that. Oh, we're going to share this link down,
down season is just
below so you guys can all check it out.
Art. Platforms realized that they could spend a fortune to make shows look like blockbusters while quietly halving the screen time. And yes, TV has never looked prettier, but we didn't fall in love with television because it looked like a movie. We fell in love with TV because it basically let us move in with the characters. And until the industry remembers that, modern shows are going to keep looking bigger than ever, while somehow feeling incredibly small.
She's 100% right. That is an absolutely fantastic video. I think, guys, go check out, what is this, Gemma.mp4, which, by the way, fantastic name. Go watch Gemma.mp4. Give her some views. Give her some likes. Send some love her way. If somebody can help her out, figure out her microphone situation to where she can get a little bit of a better mic, yeah. Send a video in the Discord. Oh, dude, I know. I'm already live and pulling up the Discord. Fucks up my shit. Let me go here real quick. All right, let's see here. But no, that was a fantastic video. I think she's absolutely right. I think really what it comes down to, it's cost cutting by a lot of these studios. They're not making the money that they used to doing these long running series. They're trying to do these 8-episode short punches to really get people into I don't know, I guess into this quick watch, but excuse me. Oh man, I'm okay. So Jonathan Grant, we're going to tee that one up. We're going to tee that one up for the first video on Thursday. Okay. Because I want to round this off here because I think this is really good. So Jonathan Grant, we're going to tee that one up for the first, because this looks really, this looks very, very interesting. I want to give that one my full attention. And the reason I've been doing shorter streams lately, I know the shorter streams for a lot of you guys are like, man, it'd be really cool if you go for a little longer than an hour or an hour and a half or whatever like that. I'm going to be honest. I've been trying. I don't think it can be considering they still spend so much money. I agree. They spend a ridiculous amount of money. But I think what they're trying to do is I think they think that it's cost saving because it's like, oh, we're going to get this many viewers and we're going to make this much more money off of a shorter season. And that's just not how it works. I think more people get more interested over the course of time. And realistically, I think that the 24 episode season, roughly about less than half a year, right? It's less than half a year, I think was a really, really good 22 to 24 episodes. And I really think that was just a fantastic format. And I would like us to get back to it. I think, like I said, that Gemma.mp4, she did a fantastic job with that video. Obviously, she did a fantastic job with that video. And she's proving that she's doing a fantastic job with videos like this because she is, I mean, blowing me out of the water with views. But what I was going to say is that I'm probably going to end up cutting it here, guys, because when you wake up at, 5 in the morning, well, I get up at 5 in the morning, but let's face it, my eyes have been opening up at like 4 o'clock lately, just bam, and I'm awake and I just kind of lay there. So when you wake up as early as I do, sometimes it just hits you. Sometimes it hits you being a little tired at the end of the day. And so that's why I've been doing hour to hour and a half long streams. I don't know. I think it works for me. It does. I know sometimes you guys are like, man, we'd really like you to go longer on something. And then there's some nights, man, I don't feel it and I do. And some nights I really, I can keep going. Tonight, not one of those nights. Thursday night, though, we're going to tee up some more of your stuff. You guys had some fantastic videos here. I really liked both of those videos. That time fight was great. And this why do shows only have 8 seasons? This is fantastic. I really like this. I used to have to wake up at 3 to work at 4, but now I'm starting work at 1 p.m. Oh, goodness. Oh, that's a shift. Oh, man. But yeah, so like I said, Jonathan Grant, we're gonna kick off with your video on Thursday. May not get, depending on if there's a story that I think is really, really interesting, we'll kick off with that one, but we're definitely gonna watch Jonathan Grant's video that he just shot over in the Discord on Thursday. We're gonna have some fun with that. Again, I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for stuff that's happening in in the gaming world, just because I like that conversation. I've had that conversation for years with my friends, and it's an easy one for me to have because I talk about it all the time naturally. But these 2 videos tonight were bangers. Last time I did some reaction stuff, I was like, man, I don't know if those videos are really bangers. But this, dang, I missed the time. Right. I'll have to watch the replay. Yeah, dude, it was really good, dude. That was, I came up with the whole story, and he was just trying to watch TV. And apparently the light dude, he really likes Grey's Anatomy, and then some hooligans broke into his house and killed him. And all he wanted to do was eat popcorn and watch Grey's Anatomy. And I don't know why they did that to him. I feel like the hooligans should not have bothered a man while he was just trying to watch Grey's Anatomy and eat popcorn. Thank you so much. Good night, Mario Trujillo. God bless, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, like I said, I am trying to get to a point where if I didn't have to wake up so damn early, I could probably have more energy. But it is what it is. I remember when I was doing Comic Shop Wednesday with you guys and Iron Age Nights on Fridays, I used to slam energy drinks before the show. Like I used to slam like 2 of them before the show. Probably not healthy. I don't slam energy drinks before the shows anymore. So, might explain some of my sleeping issues. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, until next time, cheers, everybody.